Hello students, hope all are fine. Today we are going to see chapter 9 soil resources. We are going to continue soil resources. In that today we are going to learn soil erosion. Okay. So here what is soil erosion? The removal of topsoil covered by water, wind, and human activities is called soil erosion. So, here for this erosion, man and nature both plays a important role. So here man, as you know, that they dump their chemical waste and other things on the ground and water bodies, isn't it? So it also leads to soil erosion. Then nature, you can see drought, floods, all these also causes soil erosion. So now we'll see soil erosion by water. So first, sheet erosion, rill erosion, gully erosion, leaching, sea or shore erosion, stream bank erosion. Okay, so 6 points we are going to discuss now. So what is this sheet erosion? So it occurs on gentle slopes and is the slow removal of a thin layer of soil when vegetation is destroyed. Okay, you can see in the picture here in sheet erosion how the top sheet is removed. It is washed away by the rainwater. Okay, so next we'll see rill erosion. So rill erosion, it is the sheet erosions continue for a long time. Okay, so when sheet erosion continues for a long time, it leads to rill erosion. So the silt laden runoff forms many finger shaped rills or grovels over a large area. You can see in the picture here. Okay, finger shaped rills. So this is called rill erosion. It is the intermediate stage between sheet and gully erosion. So next we'll see gully erosion. So here during heavy downpour, deep gullies are made on bare soils on account of water runoff. So gully erosion removes nutrients and heavy loads of loose soils, making the soil unproductivity. So it makes water very muddy also. So for this gully erosion, you can see the best example is Chambal Valley region. You can see the picture here how the gully erosion is, isn't it? So it is unproductive. No plants can be grown here. Next is leaching. Leaching we have discussed already, but still after harvesting, farmers leave the soils bare for some time. So during rainfall, the nutrients in the soil are leached or percolated below. Next we'll see sea or shore erosion. So the tidal waters of sea cause considerable damage to the soil along the coast. That is, the powerful waves dash against the coast and break hanging cliff rocks. Then the broken materials is then removed by the retreating sea waves. So this type of sea erosion you can see near the eastern and western coast of India. Next we'll see stream bank erosion. Streams and rivers, they change their courses. When the water is more and all, they will change their courses by cutting one bank and depositing the silt loads on other. So during the flash floods and all, you can see this. So for this, best example is Ganga Yamuna river sides. Okay. Next is soil erosion. Next we'll see soil erosion due to human actions or human activities. So here first we'll see deforestation by man. So as you know that human beings, man, they cut down all the trees for various purpose, isn't it? So here, like the outer Himalayas, the western and eastern Ghats, all these areas, mountain areas, human beings, they deforest the forest here. So these areas, when they receive heavy rainfall, the soil erosion take places here. Soil erosions like sheet, rill, gully erosion takes place here. Next is that shifting cultivation. So shifting cultivation means people, what they used to do means they used to take one region in the on the mount on the forest, then they will cut down all the trees and put fire to those trees. And after that, the remaining ash they used to spread all over and they used to cultivate their crops. Okay, without using any fertilizer, manure, and all, they cultivated their crops. And when the land lost its fertility, they used to move to the other region of the forest. So what is happening here? Deforestation is happening, isn't it? So again, soil erosion will take place in this area. Next we'll see uncontrolled grazing of domestic animals in the valleys and the upper slopes. So here uncontrolled grazing. So here cattle are allowed to graze. So in one area itself the cattle will be grazing. Finally the cattle will pull the roots of the grass, till then they will be grazing, isn't it? So that will leads to the loss of the soil and it also leads to soil erosion. So next we'll see erosion by wind. So here wind erosion refers to the movement and deposition of soil particles by wind. It occurs when soil devoid of vegetation is exposed to high velocity wind. You can see in the picture how the wind is taking the soil, isn't it? So next we'll see soil erosion in India, causes of soil erosion. So first point, heavy population pressure on land. As you know that day by day the population is increasing, isn't it? So these population, they want land to live or they want land for cultivation and all. So they remove the forest. So as a result, this will be a heavy pressure on land and it is one of the main cause for soil erosion. Next we'll see nature of rainfall. So India receives 80 to 90% of rainfall in the monsoon season. So heavy downpour during monsoon which leads to flood and all will occur, and after that the remaining months it will be in the drought condition. So this heavy downpour and drought condition, it also affects the soil here. Next we'll see overgrazing. Overgrazing, already I told you just now. So this overgrazings, you can see it is in main parts of Rajasthan, except Rajasthan and all taking place here. Okay. Next is bad farming techniques. So, you all know that our farmers are poor and they are following the traditional way of plowing. So, the farming techniques and small size of holdings lead to soil erosion on a large scale. So, the absence of terracing, contour cultivation, crop rotation, and the improper use of manure, all these leads to soil erosion. Next, we'll see topography. So, here northeast part of India, that is Shivaliks and hilly regions of South India, they are affected by soil erosion because of steep slopes and heavy rainfall. So here during rainfall, soil will be washed away by running water down to the slopes. Next we'll see deforestation. So deforestation also I discussed earlier. So next we'll go to regions of soil erosion. So here regions, the bad lands of Chambal and Yamuna rivers, the Piedmont zone of western Himalayas, the Chota Nagpur Plateau region, the Tapi Sabarmati Valley region of Gujarat, the regular soil area of Maharashtra, the dry areas of Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Haryana. All these areas are the regions of soil erosion. Understood? Next, we'll go to preservation. So, some of the measures taken to prevent soil erosion and to conserve soil are terrace farming, shelter belts, contour ploughing, strip cropping, construction of dams, plugging gullies, planting trees. Okay. So first we'll see terrace farming. So terrace here means not your house terrace, it is the hilly slopes. Okay, on hilly slopes it acts like a terrace, act as bunds and prevent the soil from being washed away by running water. You can see in the picture here like steps they are done. So when the step type of it is done, the water will not remove or run very easily. It will go like one step, it will remove and go, isn't it? So soil erosion can be controlled in this type of farming, that is terrace farming. So this terrace farming is very successful in Japan, Southeast Asia and in the USA regions. Next we'll see shelter belts. So here farmers they plant the trees in several rows. Okay, you can see in the picture here like rows they used to plant the trees so that the wind velocity can be checked. Okay, so the wind erosion will be reduced when shelter belts are done. Next is contour ploughing. So contour ploughing along contours on a slope prevent soil being washed away by rainwater and by surface runoff. Contours act like bunds, so terraces are levied into step like small fields with even slope. Okay, so this type of farming you can see in Japan, China and some parts of Southeast Asian countries. Next is construction of dams. So here rivers cause soil erosion, isn't it? To stop the soil erosion from rivers, dams are built in the upper course of the rivers so that the speed of the river can be stopped. Okay, and it can be lead to control of erosion of soil, because when the river runs or flow very fast, the amount of soil also will be taken more. Okay, next is plugging gullies. So the gullies made in the soil are plugged with deposition of silt due to heavy rain. Next is planting trees. So trees can be planted more in the edges of the fields or on the wastelands or on steep slopes to prevent soil erosion. Okay, so more trees, as we plant more trees, less amount of soil are eroded. Okay, next we'll see soil conservation. So, what is the need to prevent soil erosion? Loss of fertile topsoil. So, here topsoil is removed by soil erosion, isn't it? So, the mineral nutrients from the upper surface, it leads to loss in the soil erosion. Even the soil fertility and agriculture productivity, everything is losing due to the loss of fertile topsoil. Next is decrease soil moisture. You can see, due to the decrease of soil moisture, lowering of the ground underground water table is taking place here, isn't it? Next is drying of vegetation and extension of arid lands, increase in frequency of droughts and floods. Then next, silting of river and canal beds, reoccurrence of landslides, adverse effect on economic prosperity and cultural developments. So next we'll see, that is soil conservation schemes. Schemes introduced by government in order to protect the soil. So first one, the centrally sponsored scheme of integrated watershed management. This is done in the catchments of flood prone rivers, was launched during the 6th plan in 8 flood prone rivers of Gangetic Basin, covering 7 states and 1 union territory. So it aims at enhancing the ability of the catchment by absorbing large quantity of rainwater, so that reducing erosion and consequent silt load in the stream and river beds, and thus help in mitigate the fury of floods in the productive plains. Next scheme we'll see a scheme for reclamation and development of ravine areas was launched in 1987 to 88 in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. So this scheme helped the people for fuel, fodder and reclamation of shallow ravines. Okay, so trees were planted over here. Next scheme is the scheme of control of shifting cultivation. So earlier itself I told you what is shifting cultivation, isn't it? So this scheme is being implemented since 1994-95 in the states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura, etc. Okay, so the families who were practicing shifting cultivation, they were asked to practice terrace cultivation and raise the horticulture, plantation and afforestation to support animal husbandry and to meet fuel and fodder requirements. Next scheme is National Project on Development and Use of Biofertilizers and National Project on Quality Control were implemented during 7th five-year plan. These projects encourage the use of biofertilizers as well as balanced and integrated use of fertilizers. Last point, in urban areas, rainwater harvesting is a means of checking soil erosion besides recharging groundwater. So, rainwater harvesting was done in the urban areas so that this water can be used for recharging the groundwater. Okay. So, I hope everyone understood this topic. So, go through the module once again, read the chapter. Okay. Thank you, children.